It's been almost 2 years since veteran Domonick Turner was on his motorcycle on I-35 in Round Rock when he was hit and killed by a drunk driver. And now the trial for the man accused of his murder, John McClintock, is finally getting underway. Today, jurors heard from witnesses who describe what happened that night. KVUE's Christy Millward is live at the Williamson County Justice Center, and she's been covering this case since that deadly wreck. And Christy, McClintock entered a guilty plea today.
Mike and Quita, that's because the defense actually agrees with the prosecution. They acknowledge that John McClintock drove almost 15 miles the wrong way on Interstate 35. They agree he was well over that drinking limit when he hit and killed Domonick Turner. They just want to convince the jury to hopefully give him a lighter punishment. Now, with that said, today was an emotional day for Domonick Turner's family as they sat in the courtroom. At times they cried or even at one point had to walk out of the room. They watched as we saw dash cam video from the police officer who was trying to stop McClintock while driving the wrong way. The officer testified that he flashed his lights and he used his siren, yet McClintock never stopped. Now, we heard from a military friend of Domonick Turner who Turner was in Texas to visit. The friend says he saw him leave that morning for a job interview, one of the last people to see him alive.
He left at 3. You know, my friend was there, and he was going to get an amazing job, and then he wasn't.
Now, we also heard from a good friend of John McClintock, a co-worker who was out with him at the bar that night, and says she tried to convince him not to drive.
Do you remember having concerns about the defendant driving?
Yes.
Why were you concerned about him driving?
He looked really tired.
How could you tell he looked tired?
Because his eyes weren't wide open.
Now, the trial will continue tomorrow, and the defense says at some point in this trial, John McClintock is expected to take the stand. Live in Williamson County, Christy Millward, KVUE News.